All right, now we're going to get into the hamstring group. Everybody's favorite time of day is stretching those hamstrings. Now, seated postures, we're always going to be locking these in a pretty shortened position, so you're going to find quite a few adhesions throughout these. The best place to start is where the hamstrings come from the outsides of the knee, and they come together and they start to basically connect and then insert up into your sit bone way up in the glute there. But a common area for adhesions is where those two separate groups of hamstrings come together and meet. Now, again, if we're just starting with fascial work, it's best to start with a foam roller. You can do it basically, seated with your legs out in front. You can put a little pressure up on your leg, your hands to push your butt up in the air, and then we can slowly start to scan and roll. So you can go all the way up to that sit bone, all the way down, and it's about 2/3 of the way down your thigh. You'll find that little adhesion point right in the middle. Now from there, I can sink in. Now to increase tension on this one, there's a couple things I can do. I can just focus on increasing from the foot. You may feel it there. If not, what you're going to do is lift the heel and reach through the heel, and you'll feel that burning increase a little bit right underneath the thigh. So once we're there, we're just breathing. Now it might be hard for you to kind of engage and hold that leg up. The foam roller is really not my favorite way to do this. My most favorite way to roll out the hamstrings is to actually use your lacrosse ball. You could use a tennis ball also, which would be a little less dense if it's a little too painful to start with that. But basically you start on your chair. You're going to place that ball right into that junction where those hamstring muscles come up and meet, right into the middle. And then from there, I'm going to lift my chest up nice and tall, hinge forward from my hips. You'll feel that pressure pretty much right away. Now to increase tension, we can either just lift the toes up, or you can combine that with reaching through the heel. Once you're there, you hit that good burn sensation. We're going to breathe. Again, just waiting for that release sensation. First couple times, you may not feel much of a release. It could just be 20-30% reduction. But ideally, you kind of hold for that 1 to 2 minutes, and we're achieving that 50% reduction in pain. All right, now from there, we can slowly release out of that, and we can seek into the internal part of the hamstring. So we're going to roll the foot out a little bit, and again, chest is going to come out, and I'm going to sink in. So now we're getting the more inside belly of the hamstring group. We're going to breathe. So I'm going to lift a little bit to create some increased tension, reach through the heel. I don't have to go very far at all on this one. Make sure I'm nice and aligned up here. I don't want to be slouching, creating more problems for my back. Perfect. Let's go into the outer portion of the thigh here. So for this, I'm going to bring my heel inward a little, and I'm just going to scan. Now this could be a little closer towards the knee. There's two different muscle heads on the outer hamstring group. So you have, it's called the biceps femoris. And you have a short head that ends about 1/3 the way up here, and then the long head goes up and attaches with the other hamstrings all the way up to the sit bone. This one's pretty intense. A lot of knee pain actually comes from that biceps femoris short head. That's a pretty intense one. So if you get a lot of knee pain on the outside, you get like iliotibial band syndrome if you're a runner, this is a really good adhesion to work on. Perfect. Now the last one's probably the most uncomfortable. We're going to bring it all the way up to where that bone is in your bottom. It's right where you're supposed to be sitting. So that's called your ischial tuberosity. So it's way up high, and you'll basically roll until you kind of bump up against a wall, and it won't let you roll the ball any further. From there, lift the chest. You can internally, externally rotate the leg a little bit to fine tune, and then increase our tension by reaching through the heel, lifting the chest. If you really want to add more pressure, you can always grab onto the chair, pull down a little bit. Deep breaths. Awesome. Slowly release. Again, we're only spending about 1 to 2 minutes on each point. I know I'm going a little short on these just for video purposes. So I'm going to let you go ahead and do the other side on your own. You pick which tool you want to use, but just make sure you're being careful, right? Don't push too hard. Don't go beyond that 5 or 6 out of 10. Have fun, be safe. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be here for you.